Okay, so
is this recording what we're saying?
yeah, I just did it. I wanted to start doing a new one though.
Oh.
Because you can't have it too long because then it's too much to work with. So
Yeah.
anyway, so that's your
That's my grandparents.
dad's mom and dad. Oh,
Well, my
your
dad
and
my
your
dad's
mom.
dad was a painter.
Well, okay, so
Painter and paper hanger.
so your dad's mom and dad and your mom's mom and dad. So your four grandparents. Did
Yeah.
you know all four of them?
Yes.
And what's their names? Your mom's mom and dad.
Mary, well, actually her name was Mary Eliza. That's what but it was like Elizabeth, but that's what they called it. What Eliza was the way it was in the old days. I mean, that was a name.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my grandma Donaldson's name was Mary, but it seemed to me like I was remembered Martha in there someplace, but I don't think so.
So your mom's mom was Mary.
They were both, one was Mary Eliza and one was Mary Elizabeth.
You mean?
Mamas and daddies.
So both of your grandmas were named Mary.
Yeah.
And what about your grandpa from your mom?
His name was William Henry Pearson.
And the one from your dad?
My dad's father was David Scott.
So William and David
David
and
Scott
Mary and
Donaldson,
Mary?
huh?
So you had William and David and Mary?
Yeah. William?
So you knew your grandparents and were they
nice? Oh,
nice?
yeah. Loved them dearly.
And what's their heritage then of all your grandparents? Like just generally, I mean, because I don't really know.
I think my grandpa Pearson was Scotch-Irish. And Grandma Pearson was maybe, I'm trying to think exactly what she was. I forgot at the moment. She was...
They're all European?
Well, that's where their ancestors were from, but they were born in the United States.
Okay, yeah, so what about that then? So all four of your grandparents were born in America?
Oh, yes.
And what about their parents? Were they born in America?
I don't know much about them. They were I don't know if they were all born here or not.
Yeah.
See, when it comes to them, I never got much about them. But Grandma Donaldson was, that was Grandpa and Grandma Pearson. And Grandma Donaldson was Dutch. And Grandpa, I think he was English mostly.
Oh.
And you kind of can guess that by the Donaldson name. That's what that is.
So when you were a kid, were any of your great grandparents alive?
I had on my mother's side a grandpa and grandma, and
great grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, they were, but I never did see them.
No.
They lived in Missouri and we lived in Oklahoma, and you didn't travel around in those days.
Oh yeah.
If you did, you had to go by a train or wagon or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We just never did. And we had a car, and it was 100 miles up to Grandpa and Grandma both of my grandparents, the Donaldson and Pearson, both lived in the same town, in Chelsea, and that was 100 miles from Drumright. So after we moved to Drumright, we would go up there about once a year, Christmas time. Oh, I can remember Grandma making pallets and sleeping on the floor.
Making pallets?
Well, that's what you called a pallet, a bed on the floor. And I usually got to sleep with Grandma because I was the only kid that slept quietly, that didn't kick around.
Did you have like a Christmas tree and stuff?
No Christmas tree, I don't think, in those days. I don't think we had. Oh, and I know at my home we didn't have a Christmas tree. For a long time, my dad and our church, we didn't really believe in having Christmas trees.
Did you get presents and stuff?
Huh?
Did you get presents?
Yeah, a little bit of presents, but not anything.
Like what would you get? Just like little toys?
Just little things. We always, when we were little, we got a doll. The girls did. I don't know what the boys got. And we got them. Oh, my parents went down at this one store that was open. They were open till midnight or after. And around midnight, the Miller's Hardware, they had these dolls, these beautiful dolls that were on sale, and they were half price. So Mom and Daddy went down and got our dolls.
Were you glad? Did you?
Oh, they were beautiful dolls. And Ruth messed hers up and tore it up right away, even though it was a pretty doll in the hair. And I kept mine nice and didn't mess it up. And she wanted to play with it, and Mama let her. And she messed up my doll too, so I never will. I will always think about that because anytime I think about those dolls, I was old enough then. That was my last real doll. And I kind of grew up young because children did then.
Well, tell me.
I was only 11 years old when Mama wanted me to come home from school and help her cook. I made a cake.
Well, tell me something about your grandparents that you remember. About about them, like what they do, or like something they did.
My grandma Donaldson. I don't know what Grandma Donaldson could do, but my Grandma Pearson could tat. You don't know what that is, do you?
Tattoo?
Tatting. I'll tell you in a minute. Hello. Hi. Who? Jeff? He's here. Yeah, he's here and he's doing all this. Huh? Well, I didn't know. Yeah.